welcome to the Rocket Money Kickoff as we come to you from Conway, South Carolina, home of Coastal Carolina and the Chanticleers. They call this place the City of Halloween, and boy, do they embrace it. On All Hallows Eve, a couple of guys that were friends at NC State now matching wits on opposing sidelines. It is time for some football on the surf turf here in Conway. We take a look at the Sun Belt Conference standings, and well, James Madison is on a roll right now. Big win a couple of nights ago to go to 5-0 in league play, but on their heels, these two teams we'll see tonight, Coastal Carolina and Marshall. Both teams have started to find their way after some sluggish starts. Marshall's won 4 of their last 5. Coastal has won 2 of their last 3. Dave Neal alongside former Texas running back Fozzie Whitaker. Glad you could join us. Morgan Uber on the sideline. She will join us in a matter of moments. But certainly, this is a big one. When you start talking about this Marshall football team, after what they did last year, they won the Sun Belt Championship. But man, their coach, Charles Huff, leaves, and everybody went with them. They had to rebuild basically from scratch, but here they are in the conference race again.
It's incredible what Coach Gibson has been able to do in year number 1. You can tell the identity has changed throughout the course of this season, and it has started because of what Carlos Del Rio Wilson has been able to implement.
Yeah, he has been fantastic under center, kind of a guy that's kind of led this team to where they are right now, and they hope to ride him the rest of the way.
Yeah, just like my guy, Majin Buu, he has eaten up every opportunity that he's given since he's been a starter, and the way he's been able to do that is by being dynamic with his legs on the ground, but then whenever he needs to go to the air, he is one of the best in the country, been able to get completions, and then also leading his team to victories.
Let's take a look at our Del Rio Wilson and the Marshall offense, brought to you by Rocket Money. And you see the sluggish start, 0-2, but man, since then, in their last 5 games, scoring almost 45 points a game, almost 450 yards of offense. This offense certainly is clicking right now. And speaking of offenses, one that hasn't been clicking, but has been clicking enough to win 2 of their last 3 games in back-to-back games, is this Coastal Carolina offense. Now, it has not been as productive, but yet they have found a way. They, too, have found a quarterback they hope can ride, they can ride the rest of the way.
Yeah, he's been able to be their spark to ride their wave to the success that they've had over the past couple of weeks to lead them into victory. And it does start with him being able to run the ball effectively with his legs. He is a strong physical runner, but then also light on his feet. But whenever teams run man-to-man, he will hit you over the top of your head and make teams pay. That is where he is truly, in the red zone, dynamic player, and why the Chanticleers have been on the success run they've been on.
Yeah, certainly a quarterback that can beat you a couple of ways. Matter of fact, that's a story for both of our quarterbacks here tonight from the surf turf. It will be a fun one. It is an important one in the Sun Belt as Coastal Carolina and the Marshall Thundering Herd will get after it. And we'll talk about Samari Collier. We go to the sidelines. Morgan Uber has more.
At the beginning of the season, Samari Collier started as the 3rd, maybe the 4th quarterback for this team. But head coach Tim Beck told his entire quarterback room of the story of Cardale Jones from when he was at Ohio State. He said, all it takes is one play, and you better be ready. A guy who went from the 3rd-string quarterback to the cover of Sports Illustrated. And boy, was Collier ready when his number was called. Tad Hudson going down a few weeks ago. And he's a proven winner. He can lead in big moments. Last year, leading Hutchinson Community College to the JUCO National Championship. Coach Beck said he brings a unique swagger and gamer mentality, and his play 2 weeks ago in the Appalachian State rivalry win, along with his preparation, has earned him the right for this start.
He has been waiting for this moment on the big stage. It is finally coming. It is a big stage. The City of Halloween. Oh yeah, will we have some tricks? Maybe some treats? We've got the next 3 hours to figure that all out. Stay with us right here on ESPN. Coastal Carolina University. It's now called the City of Halloween this time of the year. And boy, do they take that seriously. And you can't go anywhere in Conway and not see some Halloween activity. Tomorrow night should be a lot of fun here, just about 20 minutes from Myrtle Beach and the Atlantic Ocean. Two guys not real worried about the ocean right now are two head coaches who actually were on the same staff at NC State. One was an offensive coordinator, one was a defensive coordinator, two intense guys. You can look at the looks on their face at the time. Well, now they get to compete against each other. Before the game, they had a chance to get together, and they were all smiles. But those two looks that we see on their faces right there will reappear here in a matter of moments. But interesting, they were good friends, but ultra competitive when they were with the Wolfpack.
Yeah, and I think what you mentioned, the sign of competitive nature within them, stood in that picture that you saw there. These two guys will be ready to rock and roll tonight against each other.
And I'm just curious, like, how much do they know each other, the ins and outs of what they want to do, what they want to try to do. And I know obviously these guys have had some time off. They can, you know, get in the room and maybe overthink some things at times, but I think they're excited to face each other on opposite sides of the field. Marshall won the coin toss. They deferred, so Coastal Carolina will receive the opening kickoff here at Brooks Stadium. Temperatures right around 60 degrees. A little chill in the air. And we are underway as this kick will bounce through the end zone out to the 25-yard line. So Samari Collier, the fifth-year senior out of DeSoto, Texas. DeSoto High School. Started his career at Illinois, then went to Hutchinson, as we said, won a national championship just a year ago. Got hurt in that championship game, but did enough to give them a lead, and they held on to win that championship. 19-2 career record as a starter in the junior college level, but this is his second start with the Chanticleers and his first here at Brooks Stadium.
You can tell he's extremely excited, and a good matchup against a good defense in Marshall.
They will throw it right out of the gates, going up top, near side. This one is overthrown. They were trying to hit Malcolm Gilly. Marvay Myers running stride for stride with number 2 in white. It'll be second down and 10. There is the offensive coordinator, Drew Hollingshead, a Mike Leach disciple. Had a tough time getting this offense cranked up. This offense averaging 19 points a game. That's 13th in the Sun Belt, 120th in the country. Here's Collier on a run, and he's out over the 30 and over the 35, down with a first down. Jalen Parker and Cam Smith able to bring him down, but a 13-yard pickup.
Nice physical run, quarterback draw. That'll be a staple of what they utilize all night long with Samari.
Javen Simpkins, your running back. They'll fake it to him and throw. Pass caught out to the 45-yard line. Gilly makes his first reception of the night. Gilly on the season now. 6 catches, over 90 yards. That one picks up 8. Second down and 2. 3-man front from Marshall. Collier trying to find some room to run, and he'll lose a few yards. Back to the 43-yard line. Jalen Parker snuffed that one out from the get-go, a loss of 2.
Yeah, take a look on the left side. Jalen Parker getting an opportunity to use his hands to get off the block and then bringing down the strong physical runner in Samari Collier. That was a great job by Jalen Parker being able to make an impact on second down.
So that makes it 3rd down and 4. Close to 36% on 3rd downs this season, 12th of the Sun Belt. Pressure comes, Collier sees it, throws, picked off on the far side. This one's gonna be 6. Boogie Trotter does it again. His 5th interception of the season, his 2nd for a touchdown. 50 yards on the return. Well,
Boogie Trotter is a ball hawk. He is nicknamed Boogie because of the way he danced as a young kid. Well, that man just showed you his dance moves in the end zone, being able to create the first takeaway and points in the game.
He came in, tied for third in FBS in interceptions, and he'll certainly jump up a notch after that one to get things started. Lorcan Quinn, the freshman, the 24-year-old freshman from Ireland, hammers that one through the uprights. What a way to start the game.
Yes, Amari Collier tries to throw the out route to the wide side of the field. Boogie Trotter sees it underneath, finds his way into the end zone and hits his dance, Boogie, to put Marshall on top.
Tickets today, and thank you for supporting the Hawks. It's time for the Splash Play, presented by Grand Strand Custom Pools. We are taking a look back at the strip sack by Noah Arinze that sealed the victory for the Chanticleers over App State. Take a look. Splash Play, go with Grand Strand Custom Pools, a proud supporter of Coastal Athletics.
Boy, Marshall, they do it again defensively. They have now scored 78 points off their opponent's turnovers. That's the second most in the FBS, only trailing North Texas, who has put up 83 points off of opponent's turnovers. Boy, this kick sailed through the back of the end zone again. But let's go back and take a look at Boogie Trotter's pick six.
Yeah, if you take a look, defensive coordinator calls the blitz. Coach Gibson says, hey, we're going to get the ball out of Collier's hands quickly. Defensive backs are taught to sit on the route and play aggressively at the sticks. That's what Boogie Trotter does. And then he has the best hands on the field, offense and defense. He makes Coastal Carolina pay by throwing to his side of the field.
The senior out of Nashville, Tennessee. 3 years at Tennessee State before making his way to Marshall. Played for Eddie George. Eddie George, of course, leaves and goes and takes the Ball State job. Boy, Boogie couldn't say enough nice things about Coach George. They'll get it to Robbie Washington, who turns the corner. Washington out over the 45 and run out of bounds. Boy, he's their toss sweep, jet sweep guy, and you can see why as he picks up 22.
Whenever you run man-to-man, a counter to that is to be able to get people going sideways, having to cross that off. And then if you have speed on top of that, which Robbie Washington does, he's able to create an explosive for the Chanticleers.
Simpkins is your running back as he moves to the left side of Collier. 3 receivers to the near side. 7 up in the box for Marshall. They'll run to it. And only a couple on the play, just shy of the 50-yard line. Crowder makes the hit on Simpkins. Or excuse me, Collier. Samari came in on the year with 162 yards rushing on 33 carries, almost a 5-yard average per carry. Ball batted in the air, almost picked off. That could have been a big man interception. Trying to hit Cameron Wright with it. It popped up in the air.
Yeah, what you do against teams defensively that are aggressive is you try to run screens. Cameron Wright not able to hang on to it, whether he saw the big guy or not. It resulted in an incomplete pass.
Dominic nicely now checks in at running back. 3rd down. Collier to throw. Pressure comes. Slings it near side. Wide open. Has a man. To the 30-yard line. Goes right. That'll be a 1st down for the Chants. They'll spot him at the 28. A gain of 24.
Yeah, and Cameron Wright starts on the left side of the field. Nobody picks him up as he runs the drag route. He gets a big explosive gain to pick up the 1st down.
Boy, Collier just working that left side, and he powers his way near the 20-yard line. Paul Hudson the 3rd, making the play on the defensive side for Marshall. Looking at Collier at 6'2", 232.
Physical runner. He likes contact.
Nicely stays in the game at running back, but this will be Collier, and almost spun out of some trouble. Maybe picks up a yard. Boogie Trotter trips him up. So another 3rd down coming up for Coastal Carolina.
Expectation for Marshall here with it being 3rd and short right at the red zone. They typically like to send the house in this type of look, so expect pressure quick and Collier getting the ball out of his hands even quicker.
Edwards in at running back. He'll just be a blocker this time for Collier, who's trying to get the line to gain. He is really close. Jalen Parker, the 5th-year senior, a transfer from NC State, making a play.
Fourth down, I think they keep it in Collier's hands again.
Marshall wants a timeout. Tony Gibson matching wits with his buddy Tim Beck. It's 4th down and 1 coming up for Coastal, which has been a nice drive. After the pick 6, that can be deflating. But they have rallied here and had a nice drive, getting it down just inside the 20-yard line.
Yeah, a couple of conversions, being able to hit a couple of explosive plays as well. Try to keep this defense off balance on what Coastal wants to do offensively. I think here on 4th down, you're going to see another dose of what Samari Collier can do with his legs and get +1 in the run game and try to pick up the blitz as well.
They have decided to take the points here, or at least try to take the points. Kian Afrukte, who was 7 of 7, 3 for 3 in his last game in brutal conditions with a long of 43. Just one of 9 kickers to remain perfect through 7 kicks. Can he keep it going? Yes, he can from 36 yards out. It is 7-3. Thundering Herd out in front on the road. Well, 5 teams, ranked teams on display on ABC on Saturday. And it starts off, can Diego Pavia and the Commodores continue this magical run for the Commodores? And another question, speaking of Texas, you a former Longhorn, probably curious as well, is Arch Manning. He's been practicing, but still no word on if he's good to go or not.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Texas needs Arch Manning on the field to try to defeat Diego Pavia and the Commodores.
Here at 7-3, Marshall out in front. Coastal just drove down the field, 8 plays, 56 yards for that field goal. And now our first look at Carlos Del Rio Wilson, the senior out of Atlanta, Georgia. Started at Florida, then went to Syracuse. And that is a pretty good graphic to be on with those guys. A couple of those may be in New York for the Heisman Trophy presentation.
Yeah, that's good company to be in. This is an efficient player, plays with great poise as well, takes care of the football. You can see why Marshall has really liked having him as the starting quarterback.
In 3 Sun Belt games so far, this Marshall offense has scored 40 or more points in each one of them. First play, inside handoff, goes to Antoine Roberts. He gets it to the 30-yard line. Pick up a 4.5. Marion Gordon making the tackle in the back end for this Coastal defense. It's given up 28 points a game. That's middle of the pack in the Sun Belt. 400 yards of offense, 10th in the conference. Rio Wilson hits Floyd Lacey. That's his 36th catch of the year for Floyd Lacey.
Yeah, Floyd Lacey's the #1 target for Carlos Del Rio Wilson, and the reason why the stats look as well as they do. He's a difference maker. Expect him to get a lot of targets tonight.
On first down, they will hand it off to Roberts, and that is strung out nicely by the Shots defensively. Zavon McDowell leading the charge, a sophomore, playing that Sam backer spot. Marshall's offense scoring 35 points a game, second best number in the Sun Belt. They're getting some help, though, from the defense that has now produced 78 points off turnovers. Pass is caught near midfield, goes DeAndre Tamarez. That's his 12th catch.
Pass lead. Morris for first down.
Western Carolina transfer. Well, just about everybody on this Marshall team is a transfer. Over 70 of them this year. Carlos Del Rio Wilson dropped right through the hands. What a throw from Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Ouch. There was a flag on the play, so that'll back Marshall up.
Yeah, it was a beautiful pass. Obviously, you want to capitalize on it. All for naught. The holding call would have still erased the big gain and possible touchdown, but Tamarez is looking like, hey, I still have to have that. And I'm sure he's upset and will have a chance or an opportunity to try to make a play again later in this game.
After that holding call, pushes it back just inside the 40. Big collision. Carlos Del Rio Wilson, who told us last night in our meetings that he seeks out contact. Loves it.
He is a contact magnet. If you look at him, whenever he has the ball in his hand, he turns into a running back. As big as he is, 220 pounds, he knows how to run behind his pads, and he put that on full display right there against that Coastal defense.
He's rushed for 347 yards this year. Will throw it into some traffic, and that one's incomplete, right through the hands of Lacey.
Pass incomplete by Del Rio Wilson. Third down.
The pass was defended well. Cover two. The cover two corner sank back, really forced a higher throw for Del Rio Wilson. Turned up an incompletion. Now it's 3rd and long.
Marshall 35% on third downs, 14th in the league, 115th in the country. They'll split Roberts out to the near side. Empty set for the Herd. 4-man rush. Passes off, but well shy of the line to gain. They had to get it down to the Coastal 41-yard line. Luke Murphy there making the play. Roberts was open for the reception, but not nearly enough, and here comes the Marshall punt team.
It's a great job by Coastal Carolina's defense, being able to hold strong and try to earn back some momentum, get their offense back the ball after this punt attempt.
Bryson Graves to return this punt, averaging about 9 yards per punt return. Had a long of 29 this year as Nathan Totten punts it away, averaging about 44 yards per kick. Fair catch called for and dropped. Booted and right into the hands of a teammate at the 35-yard line.
The ruling on the field is the punch was touched by the receiving team and then recovered by the receiving team.
And what a break by Coastal Carolina. Graves gets bailed out by his teammate. Coastal with the ball.
Started with an explosive play from Boogie Trotter. He is now the 7th player in FBS with 2 defensive touchdowns this season. His 5 interceptions on the year, now tied for first in the country. So his touchdown has given Marshall a 7-3 lead. As Coastal has the football with 3 running backs in the game, really 4 if you count Collier. Loose football. Marshall thinks they have it. They're raising their arms up and celebrating. Have they created another turnover? Yes. Dayton Smith.
Going on the field is a fumble recovered by the defense. First down, Marshall.
Dayton Smith, the redshirt junior, comes away with the football. It looked like Edwards, the true freshman, put it on the turf.
Yeah, and you see Edwards has full control of it, but as soon as he goes to cut the ball, comes loose right at the end, and it appears he's on top of a body when that collision happens with Gilmore. And that appears to be a fumble in the 2nd turnover by this Coastal offense.
Boy, Marshall is now plus 10 in the turnover department. That is top 10 in the country.
Impressive.
And now a short field for this offense. Joshawn Barbie, redshirt junior at running back. Bird trying to throw it here. Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Coverage out there on the far side by Marion Wayne.
You can tell Marshall was trying to take a shot there, sudden change.
So Zion Turner comes in the game. Wearing number 1. He takes the snap and hands it off to Barbie. McDowell making a play, but seeing Turner early in this game. Carlos Del Rio Wilson back on the field now. So what does that look do? Well, I mean, you bring in a guy like Turner and just let him hand it off and bring Del Rio Wilson back in?
It looked like he was having difficulties with his helmet.
Okay.
Whenever he was on the sideline. He was with the equipment manager. So I think there was something either with communication or with the chin strap that needed to get adjusted. Now your guy's back in there, 3rd and long. Be smart with the football.
Let's see if they've got things fixed. Might want to tighten that chin strap up a little bit. Sails it over Floyd Lacey's head. Still working with that helmet, trying to get it right. So not much after the turnover. Good job by that Coastal defense.
Sudden change. They were able to hold, go 3 and out, force a field goal attempt here. Great job by Coastal's defense, standing tall in the face of adversity.
And here comes Lorcan Quinn. This guy's story is amazing. Had never played football in his life until he set foot in Athens, the opening game of the season when Marshall took on the Georgia Bulldogs. And he has got a super leg. And he connects from 56. Coach Gibson said if the wind's just right, he might let him try from 65. He is now 13 of 17 on the year. But this young man played Gaelic football in Ireland, which is a combo of soccer and rugby. But while he was in Ireland, he's a big football fan, had a chance to go see an NFL game, but part of it was you had to have field goal kicking contest to win the free tickets. He bought an American football. He said it was about 20 bucks, cheapest thing. It was the closest thing to a real football. I said it was crappy, but he took it, finished 2nd, didn't get the tickets to the NFL game, but people saw him and said, hey, you might have a shot at this. Got connected with some guys in Ireland to continue to kick, and he's been working on the roadways laying fiber cable in Ireland as a real job. Has not been in school for 6 years. Bought his first laptop computer when he came to Marshall. It's an amazing story. And he has had some tremendous success. And again, the coaches talk about his leg strength is off the charts.
The great game of football brings us stories like that. Something you can get behind.
How about your first football game ever? Like the first time you ever put pads on, you got to do it in a game. You got to do it in Athens, Georgia at Sanford Stadium in front of 93,000. And that one sails to the back of the end zone. Like, he had never put on football equipment until he got to campus in July. Remember, the NCAA rule says you can't come to school as an international student until 30 days before school starts. And so he didn't get to campus until July. And the only reason he's here is because their kicker, Marshall's kicker, left after spring, and they didn't have a kicker. They didn't have anybody. They had to go find somebody.
Insane. First attempt to kick, he didn't even know the situation, Coach Gibson said.
That's right. He didn't explain to him, like, what does all this mean? How does all this work? And now he's here playing football for Marshall. Just incredible stuff. Coastal trying to answer back, down 10-3. Marshall defense giving up 31 points a game. This is a defense that has been producing in many ways after that sluggish start out of the gates, where they lost back-to-back games to Georgia and Missouri State. But they have since won 4 of the last 5, and it's starting to click for the Herd. Four-man rush, and it throws a little bit low and incomplete.
You can tell the timing is just a bit off between Collier with the pressure that Marshall's sending, trying to get the ball out quickly. The offense hasn't been able to adjust quite yet on this drive on those last 2 plays.
Good to see Malik Mega back on the field, though. He's been out with an injury. Didn't know if we'd see him today. 10 catches on the season. Maybe that's part of the timing, too, as Mega hadn't really been on the field very much. Three-man rush again, dropping 8. Collier down the middle. This one's caught. That one goes to Cameron Wright. There is a flag down back at the line of scrimmage. It's a gain of 13 if it holds.
An eligible play downfield on the offense. Number 33 was covered up. That's a 5-yard penalty. We'll replay 3rd down.
It's our referee, Ted Pitts. Unfortunate for Coastal Carolina. They had enough for the 1st down, but instead will be backed up to their 20-yard line.
Gives Marshall a chance to be able to substitute. And then the expectation is still they're going to send pressure, try to keep everything in front with it being 3rd and 15. Make the tackle on the catch or force a turnover.
Javen Simpkins, your running back. They will give it to him here. Tries to kick it to the outside, but he's wrapped up by Gilmore. It'll be 4th down and long, and Coastal's going to have to punt this one away.
It's a great job by Gilmore being able to stay patient, not get caught inside on the draw, and then being able to get the tackle to force 4th down attempt.
So Floyd Lacey back to return this punt. Leads the Sun Belt Conference, 11th in the FBS, averaging almost 15 yards per return this year. Good high punt. Lacey going to return it, spins, bounces off one defender, stays on his feet, spins again across the 45. How the heck did he do that? Now let's take a look at this week's college football rankings, brought to you by Chick-fil-A. Ohio State, Indiana right there at 1 and 2, and then a couple of SEC teams at A&M, Alabama, Georgia. Anything jump at you in that group?
Your idol there, Penn State. What do they look like? Right? We get a chance to see them without James Franklin. Again, do they have a different sense of urgency? We'll see.
Not much happening there as Carlos Del Rio Wilson get 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Trey Brown chasing him down.
It's a great job by Coastal staying home, having somebody account for the quarterback at all times.
3.5 minutes to go, 1st quarter. We'll go Lacey, and this time he is dropped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of 4 on the play.
Yeah, Dante Lunan being able to read that keep, fight through the block, and then come off the block and make the tackle for a TFL, especially on the jet sweep. That is extremely hard to do, and he made it look very easy there.
Marshall going to go empty. 5 players split out wide. For Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Second in the country in completion percentage, but he's going to tuck it and run. And he'll have the first down inside the 45 down to the 42.5-yard line.
This is where Carlos Del Rio Wilson is dangerous. You think in 3rd and long, he has to throw it to get the sticks. Well, he utilizes his legs and God-given ability and size to be able to go pick it up and then lean to finish forward past the first down marker.
Roberts goes in motion. Carlos Del Rio Wilson hit and dropped.
Quarterback keeper, Del Rio Wilson.
Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Think about what he's done this year. He is now the first player in Sun Belt history with 200+ pass yards, 70+ rush yards in 3 straight games. Since 2015, only 3 others have done that. Lamar Jackson, Jaden Daniels, and Byron Brown. That's in the FBS.
It's good company.
Adrian Norton. Say it again. Let me just reiterate that kind of company he's keeping. Since 2015, only 3 other quarterbacks in the country have done what he's done. 200 yards passing or more, 75 yards or more rushing. That's Lamar Jackson, Heisman Trophy, Jaden Daniels, Heisman Trophy, and Byron Brown, who's a South Florida quarterback who's had 2 spectacular seasons.
He's playing high in an elite level and showcasing, again, Clyde Marshall has put their trust in him and where they've been able to ascend this offense and the entire team under his leadership.
Well, a lot of twisting and turning. They finally get it to Floyd Lacey. Try to get the edge. Splits a couple of defenders. He has a first down and a whole lot more. Toby Payne, the tight end, steps up with a big block to free Lacey for 23.
Yeah, you might as well dress up as magicians because nobody knew where the ball was, and Floyd Lacey gets out in open space, able to force some missed tackles and pick up a big explosive play in the red zone.
He limps back to that Marshall bench area. Don't want to lose him. He has been a dynamic offensive player for them on the outside. Handoff goes to Antoine Roberts. He's inside the 5, so it'll be 2nd down and goal. Shane Bruce getting some work defensively. Wearing number 1 jersey for Coastal Carolina. Their heart and soul of that defense. Their alpha dog, they like to call him, but he has not played the last couple of games.
That's the end of the first quarter.
So that is the end of the first quarter. It's been all Marshall, 10-3 from the city of Halloween and home of Coastal Carolina. 7-point advantage for the Thundering Herd. 10-3 our score. Marshall out in front, knocking on the door to make this a 14-point game. It is second down and goal. Both teams after one quarter, 80 yards of offense. It's been the 2 turnovers that have been the difference in this game. A couple of tight ends on the field for Marshall. Carlos Del Rio Wilson. He'll just work the left side and run right into a wall. That'll lose 2. Coming into this game, Marshall was plus 1.1 in turnover margin. Coastal was minus 0.86. That's 2 turnovers per game, and that's where we sit right now. Marshall up 2-0 in the turnover department. Floyd Lacey, by the way, back on the field. That's good news for Thundering Herd fans.
Expect rollout here, trying to get the ball in the flats to Floyd Lacey.
Coming this way with it. Throws and through the hands of Lacey. Ari Notice was chasing down Del Rio Wilson.
Yeah, you got Floyd Lacey all alone in the flats where I talked about that ball's just a little too high, and Carlos Del Rio Wilson under pressure as he rolls out wasn't able to throw an accurate pass and missed opportunity.
Well, here's Lorcan Quinn back on the field again. Just hit a 55-yarder a moment ago. That was tied for the second longest in Marshall history. 53 and a 55 so far in his young football career. This will be a shorter one from 23 yards out. And he splits the uprights. Let's go downstairs, visit with Morgan. What's up, Morgan?
Well, guys, usually after the offense comes off the field, they go into their position groups. But instead, after that last series, offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshed got the attention of his entire offense, huddled them together, really trying to settle them down. He looked at them and said, guys, we just need to calm down. We need to control the controllables, do your job, and I need to see better communication on the field. Also, it's worth noting that Tad Hudson and MJ Morris, backup quarterbacks, are continuing to stay loose on the sideline, guys.
You know, you mentioned offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshead, who is, when you say he is a Mike Leach disciple, really is. He was with him in Washington State, went to Starkville with him, and was with Mississippi State before Coach Leach unfortunately passed away suddenly. And, you know, he continues. I mean, like, he is all in on that offense, and it's been tough for him this year. It just, you have so much turnover.
Yeah.
It's hard to get that thing going in the right direction with so many new elements. From the goal line, Gilly. Got a little bit of room. Gilly to the 30, to the 35, over the 40, and out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Heck of a return that'll go for 44 yards.
What a nice return to spark some energy for this Coastal Carolina offense. Gilly able to read the hole, fight through a couple arm tackles, and you can't ever get brought down by the kicker. And they started off with some really good field position on this drive.
Big hole off the left side for Simpkins. Taken down at the 37-yard line by Boogie Trotter. An outstanding open field tackle, but boy, did Coastal need a big run like that. 18 yards.
Coastal gets a hat on a hat, seals the edge, and then Simpkins does the great job of being able to find the hole and then hitting it full speed for explosive first down play.
Some of that tempo. Left side again, and to the 32-yard line goes Simpkins. Boogie Trotter there to make another tackle. Boy, Boogie, we've said his name. It feels like almost every play in some capacity.
Yeah, he's all over the field, but you don't probably want to hear his name being called that far downfield on a tackle, as Coastal Carolina's trying to find something about themselves with this inside zone.
Dominic Nicely, another freshman running back on the field. There goes right in motion behind the formation. Collier finds his man. Graves dancing around to the 10-yard line. Pickup of 22. Boy, and Samari had some heat on that one.
Yeah, he lasered that in there found his intended receiver, and big pickup for a first down.
First and goal from the 10. Here's Collier. Picks up a couple of yards. Evans there to make the play for the Thundering Herd.
Brings up second down.
4 of 9, 76 yards. On the year, Collier with a couple of touchdowns and 2 interceptions now. Remember, he's basically like the 4th quarterback for Coastal this year. Jalen John, a transfer from UMass, checks into the game for the first time, but Collier going to dump it off over the middle, and it's incomplete. They were trying to hit Brooks Johnson, the 6'5" tight end. I think they ran right in to our official on the back end.
Yeah, take a look on the left side. Brooks Johnson trying to hide, gets collision banged, and then the official tries to get out of the way, ends up getting in the way. I think that ball was overthrown. Regardless, I don't know if Brooks Johnson would have been able to make a play on that anyways.
So now it's 3rd down and goal. Pressure comes. Collier makes a man miss. Stiff arm and then is dropped. That's a face mask. Rivera Harvey just grabbed Collier's face mask.
Personal foul, face mask. Number 6, defense. At the distance to the goal, automatic, first down.
Yeah, Rivera Harvey obviously gets caught on the edge, trying to secure the tackle. We talked about how strong of a runner Collier is. He grabs whatever he can, and unfortunately for Marshall, that was his face mask. And fortunately for Coastal, they get an automatic first down, moving inside the 5.
First and goal now from the 4. Handoff goes to Simpkins. That pile gets it down to about the 2-yard line. Jabril Alameen kind of circles around and finally stopped that play in its tracks, but it'll be 2nd down and goal from about the 2.
And this is big-time Samari Collier territory, where they're going to bring in some extra bodies and typically get +1 with that quarterback smash game of him going right off tackle with the lead blocker to try to end up in the end zone.
2 true freshman running backs on the field now, Edwards and Nicely. They'll go with Edwards. He is stopped short. So 3rd and goal coming up.
Inside handoff. 3rd down.
Boy, Parker's gotten his nose in there for the Thundering Herd a few times today. Starter at that middle linebacker spot. Transfer in from NC State.
Here's your Collier run.
Collier trying to dance his way into the end zone. Touchdown, Coastal Carolina.
Collier calls his own number. Able to fake the jet sweep, find that pull and tackle, and get right inside, break a tackle on his way to the end zone. And you look up, they're only down by 4 points after this extra point, maybe 3 points after 2 turnovers in the first half.
Farouk point after is up and good, and it cuts it to a 3-point advantage for the Thundering Herd.
Yeah, you see he reads that second puller, get a hat on a hat, showcases his physicality as he puts Coastal on the board for 7.
do not want to catch whatever you have. I expect you'll be joining me soon in the boneyard.
They love their Halloween in Conway. That's why they call it the City of Halloween. We're coming to the game today. We saw these students walk into the Brooks Stadium here and all dressed up in their costumes. Something tells me that they may be wearing those tomorrow as well. And that will draw a flag. As the kick goes out of bounds, it'll go out to the 35-yard line. Let's go back to that last drive.
Yeah, well, when Coastal starts off with a big return, it puts the offense in great field position, being able to create some momentum for them to feed off of. You're not turning the ball over, you're taking care of it. You're delivering strikes downfield to create explosives, and then you're able to finish with that exclamation mark in the end zone and a physical run by Samari Collier. That's how Coastal has to continue to play in order to put up touchdowns in this game.
Tim Beck liking that last drive. Now it needs his defense to step up. That last drive, 8 plays and 54 yards. They'll hand it off to Antoine Roberts, brought down by Marion Gordon. Gain of 6.
Big push by that offensive line. Carlos Del Rio Wilson is downfield trying to get a block for his running back. I don't know how many quarterbacks you typically see do that, but it's not a lot.
Little delay, handoff goes to Roberts across midfield to the 44-yard line. Gordon again back there making a play, but not before. Another big chunk of this surf turf for the third, a gain of 15.
One of my favorite plays there, sprint counter, fake like you're sprinting out to the left, bring it back to the right side following that lead blocker, and Roberts able to find that seam and hit it for 15, quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Roberts tripped up, gain of about a yard, maybe 2.
Marshall sprinkles in some misdirection. Everybody moving to the left, including the quarterback and running back. You get a blocker to be able to go the opposite way on a pull, and then Roberts sees that seam, hits it full speed, 100%. That's an explosive run.
Boy, what a dart from the arm of Carlos Del Rio Wilson as he hits Brian Robinson down the seam, a gain of 19.
Another trickery in the backfield. You think it's a toss. Then Robinson just runs that short post. Del Rio Wilson hits him right in that window.
Del Rio Wilson keeps it himself. Gordon trips him up. Boy, Marshall going at a good clip right here. Good tempo to their offense on this drive.
If you give up a touchdown defensively, the goal for the offense is to say, hey, anything they can do, we can do better. Marshall's trying to answer back with that Coastal score.
Handoff, Roberts hit by Arenze, been one of their best defensive linemen out on the edge this season, now with 22 tackles on the year. Transfer in from New Mexico State. Del Rio Wilson powers his way inside the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. Thundering Herd.
That's where you see the physicality of Del Rio Wilson again show up. Snap the ball very quickly on 3rd and short. Defense not able to get set. And then they mash to the right side of that offensive line and establish a new line of scrimmage about 15 yards downfield.
Play clock under 5 seconds. They get the snap off. Handoff right side goes to Barbie. He is in there for 6 from 4 yards out.
That was a bit of a statement drive by Marshall there, capped off with the physical run by Joshawn Barbie. The right side of that offensive line, they're playing really good football. And running behind them shows you the physicality of this Thundering Herd offensive line.
8 plays, 65 yards, less than 3.5 minutes off the clock. Or can Quinn with the point after? It is up and it is good. Back to a 10-point advantage for Marshall. Under 7 minutes to go here, first half.
Yeah, when the defense is worn down, that's whenever you mash the gas even more. Barbie into the end zone.
Carlos Del Rio Wilson with another big run to set up a Marshall touchdown. Just pounding his way inside the 5-yard line. For more on a man who just loves contact, let's go down to Morgan.
Well, he loves the old school football era where everyone played with physicality. He's all about the Oklahoma drills, going at it. And I asked him, where did it come from? And he told us yesterday in our meetings it stems from his family. Growing up with 4 older siblings, 3 older sisters, and an older brother. He'd come home, put on his helmet and pads, and told us his siblings, especially called out Alex, made it their priority to make sure he was aggressive from a young age. And boy, has it paid off. Coach Gibson calls him a warrior. You see, he takes hits rather than sliding and just puts the team first, everything on the line, including his body, guys.
Well, he wanted to make sure that we mentioned Alex, who was the one that really beat up on him. But look, Alex, look what you did. Who knew? You created a monster on the football field. Well done. He is a guy that just has waited his turn, and it's been at a couple different places as he started his career at Florida, redshirted his first year there, and then didn't play the second year, transferred to Syracuse, where he threw a total of 52 passes in 2 years. And now's his time to shine. Coastal Carolina answered Marshall's last scoring opportunity with a touchdown. Last time they were on this surf turf. Let's see what they have in store here. Nicely will start this game at running back, and they will give it to him off the right side. I thought for the first time tonight, too, on that last Coastal drive that we actually saw a little bit of this Drew Hollingshead offense that he likes to run.
Especially with the tempo. You get that first down, they're able to mash the gas a little bit more, get the defense tired, and then moving side to side, implementing the quarterback run game helps keep the defense on their heels.
Collier. Incomplete, tried to hit Brooke Johnson, their tight end. He's their go-to guy in that area. Has 10 catches on the year. Couldn't handle that hot shot.
Third down is where Coach Gibson defensively really likes to send that pressure. You're going to see man-to-man aggressive coverage and one-on-ones up front. A lot of times Gibson sends one more than you can block. Coastal has to be smart picking it up.
On third down, Collier going to try to run for it. Spins and is popped out over the 35, and he'll have enough for the first down. Jamal Weiss able to put the hit on Collier, but not before he picks up 11.
Second time quarterback draw has been used.
Injury timeout.
Picking up a first down by using the legs of Collier to keep the drive extended.
Darius Green McKnight leaving the field. Seems to be all right. The first down and 10, under 6 minutes to go before halftime. Dominic Nicely. Flags come flying from all over the place. Collier throws deep down the field and completes.
Offside. Defense. Number 21. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
The big fella at 316 pounds. Tyus Martin. Started his career at Colorado, then went to Jackson State. And now in Huntington.
It's what the tempo offense does for you with so much hard count that Coastal runs. You're able to catch the defense off guard, maybe not paying as close attention to the football as they should be, and get a free play and free yardage on first down.
First down and 5. Dominic Nicely gets the pitch. Has a lot of room. Touchdown. Coastal Carolina, 59 yards.
I think the guys up in the stands are loving it. No shirts, celebrating the nice run. Great job answering Marshall's touchdown. Able to run the speed option to perfection. Nicely showcases his speed. Downfield blocking by the tight end and off to the races. Nicely capitalizes on the open field.
That's the longest play from scrimmage this season for Coastal. The previous was 52 yards.
And you can see open grass on the surf turf. Dominic takes it, pedal to the metal, and he finishes it off very nicely.
Way I was when I left ain't the same way I'm coming back. It's been too damn long.
20-17. Coastal Carolina closes it once again to 3 after an explosive play on the option. Well done by Coastal Carolina. Already put together 123 yards rushing today and almost 200 yards of offense after a sluggish start in the first couple of possessions, as this kick will sail through the back of the end zone. Go back to that last touchdown.
Well, take a look. It's unbalanced to start off with. Freeze the picture right there. You get the pulling guard on the left going opposite direction of the ball fake. It splits the defense in half. Linebackers all flow the opposite direction. It puts Clark Glover on an island between two individual players. And what Collier does really well is make him pick. He chooses wrong and then nicely is able to capitalize on the open turf. Finishes in the end zone. Great execution and play call by that offense.
Yeah, I thought it was a great job by Collier, too, just hanging on to that football just for an extra step. Here's Floyd Lacey. He's knocked out of bounds. We'll spot him around the 36-yard line. That'll be good enough for the first down. These jerseys, by the way, you're looking at Coastal. Players didn't even know it tonight, but when they went back after warm-ups, they got these jerseys. They're supposed to be glow in the dark. There was a little bit of glow when the lights were out before the game, but that's why they're kind of funky looking here tonight. Del Rio Wilson deep down the middle. Boy, some major contact, but they're going to say over the head of the receiver by a mile. Miles Woods back there in coverage. Tony Gibson not enjoying that non-call.
I don't know if I like it. You get the post in the slot. Defender's not playing the ball. And that's where I don't know how you don't call that. If defender's playing the ball, that's okay. He's not playing the ball. There's contact there.
Del Rio Wilson. Gain of a couple. Lorenze again making the stop. Yeah, in real time, it looked like that was sailed over their head by a good 10 yards, but that replay, it didn't look like it was that far over their head.
Not too much, and he was obviously attempting for it. I don't know. That was a tricky one. The referees must have felt like it was uncatchable.
So third down. Over the middle, pass is caught, first down. Adrian Norton. They'll spot his progress up around the 47.5-yard line. A gain of about 11.
That was a laser throw to Norton. I'm really impressed by what Del Rio Wilson is able to do with the kind of physical running attack he has and the accuracy he's still been able to put on the ball, the touch. It's really cool to see.
Slings it here near side to Lacey. He's into Coastal territory at the 48-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. Del Rio Wilson, 8 of 13, 72 yards. He's rushed for 36 yards on 9 carries. Coastal bringing some heat. A little too hot. Looking for Antoine Roberts. That blitz kind of forced to maybe a quicker throw than Carlos wanted to throw.
Yeah, what a timely call by Jeremiah Johnson, the defensive coordinator for Coastal Carolina. Timed it up perfectly with when he wanted to call that blitz route. Like you said, Antoine Roberts was not ready for that moment. Third down here.
Another third down on this drive. 3rd and 5 this time. Quick throw to Roberts, and he is tripped up at the 48. No gain. It's Miles Woods.
What a great tackle by Miles Woods. One-on-one in open field. This is where Coastal has actually struggled, giving up 9 missed tackles a game. And you see Miles Wood able to capitalize on his opportunity and force a 4th down attempt here.
Bryson Graves back to receive this punt. He'll stand at the 5-yard line. Nathan Totten to put it away. End over end kick. Fair catch called for at the 12-yard line, and that's where Coastal will take over. We'll kick off your Week 9 NFL Sunday at 10 a.m. Eastern with the Countdown Crew on ESPN and the all-new ESPN app. They'll have all the early breaking stories, injury updates, and previews of each game right up to kickoff. And Monday Night Football, Cardinals versus the Cowboys, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the all-new ESPN app. Peyton and Eli over on ESPN2. Coverage kicks off with NFL Live at 3 Eastern from AT&T Stadium. Then SVP and the Monday Night Countdown Crew come your way at 6 o'clock Eastern Time. Collier, 4 of 11, throwing the football, 76 yards. He's rushed for 30 yards. Inside handoff, and that one goes to Simpkins. Hit by Josh Pierre-Louis. Coastal Carolina with 3 timeouts remaining.
Appears they're content taking it to the 2-minute timeout. To think about the game plan, to try to put points up on the board before half.
2-minute timeout.
2-minute timeout. Marshall up by 3. Something tells me this campus will be very busy tomorrow night. Might be some festivities going on here at Coastal Carolina The city of Halloween coming up on our halftime report. Some big news coming out of Baton Rouge. Arch Manning injury update. Will he or will he not play this weekend against Vanderbilt? And we'll have the current college football projections for you. It is a lot to talk about. The crazy world that is college football, between players making a bunch of money, transfer portal stuff, coaches making a bunch of money and not working, governors getting involved in coaching decisions to some capacity. Nothing like it. Nothing like it.
Football unites like no other.
So 2 minutes to go before halftime. Collier keeping it, and he'll be dropped. Al-Amin read that play well, picks up the tackle. It'll be third down.
If I'm Marshall, I'm spending a timeout here so I can get the ball back.
There is 23 seconds on the play clock. Tony Gibson's going to let this one run down. He's got 2 timeouts remaining. Collier going to try to pick it up with his legs. They'll spot him at the 22-yard line. There's the timeout from Marshall. He's about 1.5 yards, 2 yards shy.
Timeout, Marshall.
Again,
This is
Al-Amin.
your second timeout of the half. Please reset the game clock to 1:13.
In on that tackle.
Thank you. This will be 30 seconds in length.
So now it's 4th down coming up.
Expectation here from Marshall's perspective, call the timeout, expecting Coastal to punt the football, leave you with a little bit of time. Coastal, you punt the ball, you don't give the returner an opportunity to actually return it.
But if they punt it away, they're going to be punting it to Floyd Lacey, who's among the best in the country. He's
Can't let him
11th in the FBS in punt return average.
You got to kick it out of bounds, or you kick one of those Australian rules football kicks where you Aussie punt it and it rolls and get your coverage team downfield. But he's too dangerous, and he will hurt you in the return game if you give him a chance.
Sebafunde will punt this away. Good clean snap. Kick is on the way. Boy, tight spiral. Lacey's going to have to let this one hit at the 30. Boy, nice job by Ebafunde. They kick it away from Lacey. 1:05 to go. And as you look at the Sun Belt East Division standings, everybody's chasing James Madison right now. James Madison certainly playing at a very high level, but Coastal and Marshall right now tied for 2nd. Both these teams still have James Madison on their schedule. Next up for Marshall is a date with James Madison. Meanwhile, Coastal finishes with James Madison. But it's not like this one is, as you could just see here, this is a huge game.
Yeah.
The winner of this one basically stays in the race.
It is pivotal, and obviously you can see what it means to both of these teams. 3 points is the difference. It's going to come down to who's able to take care of the football and make those big explosive plays.
1:05 on the clock. The Rio Wilson flag comes out. A couple of flags come out.
Holding. Number 60, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay, first down.
Big left guard. So Marcus Adams caught in the act of grabbing a jersey. Marshall got off to a great start offensively, humming along. A couple of good possessions here in the first half, but 172 total yards to this point as Arenze makes another tackle.
If I'm Coastal, I'm calling my timeout. You got 3 of them. Get the ball back, maybe kick a field goal, tie the ball game up. Both teams seem to be content with the score being 20-17 going in the half.
Really the difference in this one are the 2 first quarter turnovers, an interception for a touchdown and then a fumble by Coastal Carolina. Ooh, Roberts is walloped. He was approaching the line to gain, and Demarion Wayne comes up, but a gain of 10. And that clock will wind down, and that'll be the final play of the first half. So Marshall will take the lead 20-17, 10 points off turnovers. Tony Gibson's club has been really good at that all season long. How about a few words for our referee Ted Pitts on the way out. But Coastal hanging in there. A couple of really good drives in the second quarter. Looked like the offense that they want it to look like. And a big play from the true freshman with a touchdown. Let's go down to Morgan, who has Coach Beck.
Coach, how did you see your quarterback Samari Collier settle in after that early interception?
Yeah, he's done a great job. It's a heck of a game right now. 2 good football teams battling. He settled down a little bit, and we've been able to move the ball and got a couple big stops here and there.
How has your offense been able to handle Marshall's pressure?
Yeah, we've been pretty good so far. We hit them with a couple of options and kind of keeping them honest right now.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
3-point game, anybody's contest with 2 quarters to go as the city of Halloween is embracing tomorrow's big night. Just a day early, but having some fun. 20-17, just moments away from third quarter football here in Conway, South Carolina. Thundering Herd up by 3. They will get the football to start the third quarter. This kick will sail into the back of the end zone. And that is where Marshall will take over. Dave Neal back alongside Fozzie Whitaker. And Fozzie, we talked about the quarterbacks to begin this when both of them big parts of their offenses, and they didn't disappoint.
Yeah, Carlos Del Rio Wilson has been the focal point for Marshall. He's been able to get them on the board, moving in the red zone. He's done it with his legs, and he's been very physical anytime he's taken matters into his own hands. But when he needs to throw the ball, he's been very accurate downfield. And conversely, Samari Collier has been the focal point for this offense, starting off with strikes downfield, getting explosive plays, and then being efficient in the red zone.
Marshall will start it with a run game as they give it to Roberts on their first play of the third quarter. Roberts, 46 yards rushing in that first quarter. That was just his 10th carry. Del Rio Wilson to the wide side of the field, gets it to Tamarez, and he'll pick up the first down. A Western Carolina transfer, now in his first season here at Marshall. Well, he had a big catch earlier this year. Go-ahead touchdown on a 24-yard reception against Middle Tennessee earlier this season. Handoff Roberts, a lot of room, gets a block on the edge. He's down to the 20, stays on his feet to the 10-yard line and bumped out of bounds. Adrian Norton springs him on the outside for 55.
There's that sprint counter again, being able to get everybody moving on one side of the defense in one direction, and then Roberts backdoor cutting loose, showing that speed and dynamic explosive power for a big explosive first down.
Del Rio Wilson, a couple of yards as he keeps it himself.
Quarterback keep.
Carlos again, the senior out of Atlanta. Went to Cartersville High School, same high school that produced Trevor Lawrence. Although he said yesterday he missed him by a year or two.
Still in good company when you coming from a program like that.
Down to about the 8-yard line. I'd say Trevor Lawrence has had a pretty good football career.
I think so. It's not too bad, right? He's done well for himself. Third down here. I expect Carlos Del Rio Wilson to take matters into his own hands again with a quarterback draw, quarterback run.
Stands in the pocket, fires to the back of the end zone, has a man, touchdown. Tamarez, 7 yards out, and just like that, Marshall moves it down the field.
Came out blazing offensively. Started off with a big explosive run, and excuse me, Carlos Del Rio Wilson didn't need to run it. And if you got an arm like that and the accuracy to drop it in a breadbasket, Tamarez is able to be the benefactor on the opposite end.
Lorcan Quinn to attempt the point after, and he splits the uprights. Let's go down to Morgan.
Well, the sense of frustration for Marshall head coach Tony Gibson, I think, all went away after that touchdown. Coming out of the locker room, I had a chance to talk with him, and he told me offensively we had a chance to pull away there early in the first half, but weren't able to execute. He was displeased with the offensive line's ability to really control the line of scrimmage there. Did a much better job, and defensively, he said they looked to make some adjustments to take away the explosives. But one thing, guys, that they're not going to adjust is that sense of aggressiveness Coach Gibson hangs his hat on.
Well, their offense just came out blistering on that opening possession. 6 plays, 75 yards, only 2 minutes and 15 seconds off the clock. Pushes it back to a 10-point game. Third time tonight they've had a 10-point lead. Each time Coastal has found a way to close the gap, but Coastal just hasn't grabbed the lead yet. They'll have a chance with the offense back on the field. Really, in the second quarter, we got to see a little bit of how this offense, how they want it to run and how it should run. And when it's clicking, it's something to see.
Absolutely. Being able to run the ball effectively, we saw the speed option be utilized very well on the big, long touchdown run, and then picking up those first downs and using tempo to their advantage to equalize what the defense is trying to do.
Goes Carson right in motion. They'll hand it off to the left side, and nice run there from Simpkins. Kept his balance. Gilmore finally takes him down, but a gain of 7.
Yeah, using their own form of a counter run play where you pull 2 offensive linemen. Simpkins does a great job staying patient, keeping his balance with his hand down to pick up additional yardage.
That's how Fozzie Whitaker used to do it back in Austin, Texas.
Every now and then. I don't got it no more.
I never had it. You saw me fall while we were in Arkansas last week.
That poor Yeti Rambler.
Yeah, no, I broke my ankle going to that Auburn, Arkansas game. But you know what? I hung in there. I played.
Yeah.
Played hurt.
Got it taped and good to go.
The surf turf. The teal color of Coastal Carolina. Brand new turf this year.
Pops very well.
Pressure comes. Collier throws. Pass caught. Gilly spins out of trouble. It's a foot race. Can anybody catch him? No! Touchdown. Coastal. 70 yards.
Malcolm Gilly. Young man, roll. Collier finds his guy, one-on-one coverage on the outside. Gilly makes you pay whenever you don't have safety over the top hill. Great answer by Coastal, being able to bounce back in their first drive from the second half.
Whoa, a couple of big plays right out of the locker room for both of these teams, and 2 quick touchdowns. Played just a tick over 3.5 minutes, and have seen 14 points already.
Malcolm Gilly, one of the fastest guys on the football field, running a slant route, one-on-one coverage with Myers. Make a miss, touch the ground. It's too late after that. See ya, Gilly to the house.
Coastal Carolina with the response to get this game back within 3, thanks to a touchdown by wide receiver Malcolm Gilly, who offensive coordinator Drew Hollingshead told us has been a great surprise. This year, he comes in, gets his 6th year with the JUCO ruling, transferring from Ball State, where he was Conference Special Teams Player of the Year. A dangerous return man. He had the opportunity to go to the NFL with a draftable grade, but wanted to come here and play an extra year to get some route running on film, and has really just become a great leader for the room as an older presence, and has had an impact here early, guys, in the second half.
Yeah, I'd say that was an impact play.
Big time. Chunked up the deuces on his way to the end zone.
How about his speed down the line?
Ooh, he can fly. Fly. That's that NFL grade he was able to receive.
That grade might be just ticked up a notch or two.
There you go. Can't teach speed.
No, you cannot. Carlos Del Rio Wilson back on the field. Joshawn Barbie will start this drive in the backfield. They'll split out wide. They'll quickly throw it that way, and not a good throw from Del Rio Wilson. Was that behind the line of scrimmage? I believe it was. There was no whistle. Coastal may have this football.
The ruling on the field is a backwards pass recovered by the defense. First down.
Zamarion Gordon comes up with the football, and I think that this one was a backwards pass.
Yeah, it looked very close right down the line. You see Barbie motions out. And as that ball is thrown, it is thrown backwards. A little bit high. Barbie not able to handle it. And then that oblong football is always so hard to be able to grab a hold of. Coastal comes away with their first takeaway of the game.
Coastal has not been good in the turnover department this year. They came in -6, actually -8 after the first quarter with their 2 turnovers tonight. But they get their first and see if they can take advantage of it, as they'll set up shop inside the 20-yard line. They'll hand it off to Simpkins, working the right side, gets a couple of yards. Alameen making a tackle for Marshall. But the story for Coastal Carolina has not been great in the games that they have lost. I mean, look at that, -8 in those games. Certainly a big impact here tonight. Think about those 2 in the first quarter that resulted in 10 points. Going to the end zone, wide open. Touchdown, Coastal. Bryson Graves, nobody within 20 yards of him. 17 yards. And Coastal has taken the lead.
Outstanding play call and execution. Faking the wide receiver screen. Graves get behind the defense. And then Collier delivers a money ball into the end zone.
Point after is good. And Coastal with their first lead of the night.
When the defense has a breakdown and a collapse in coverage, it usually results in a touchdown. There he is, Happy Collier, celebrating with his boys.
to decide who's the better team.
It is wide open.
Can you believe it? Who's in the driver's seat to get to the playoffs?
The top 25 rankings reveal and 12-team CFP projection. Tuesday on ESPN.
It gets real on Tuesday night at 8 o'clock, doesn't it?
I'm so excited. I can't wait to see what those first 25 rankings and teams will be at. There's so much football left to play, but the parity in college football has probably been the best that it's ever been since I've been following college football.
Well, as a Florida State alum, maybe I wish we'd have had that after week 1. Just kind of wrapped it up, called it a season. Let's go back to that last touchdown. Fozzie, how did he get so wide open?
Yeah, man-to-man, everybody has a man. The guy in the slot, which is Jadarius Green-McKnight, he's supposed to stay with Graves as he's releasing on the go ball. Collier finds Grayson wide open down the field. Graves down the field. It was an easy throw. Pitch and catch for them to miscommunication on the back end for Marshall.
That gives Coastal their first lead, 31-27. Carlos Del Rio Wilson. This time forward pass to the outside. Boyd Lacey walloped out of bounds. Big hit on the back end. Everybody seems to be okay.
Coastal hitting with some physicality. They ended with the big hit in the second quarter. Coming out still swinging, causing turnovers and playing physical.
Second big hit we've seen from Miles Woods tonight. There is Antoine Roberts. His first 100-yard game of his career. To 104 yards tonight. For the redshirt junior out of Nashville, Tennessee. Junior college transfer from Independence Community College out in Kansas. Roberts will split to the outside. They got a bunch of receivers on the near side, the near hash. They'll bring Roberts back in to the formation. 3-man rush. Picked off. Intercepted. Dante Lunan stepped right in the way, and now Coastal's got another short field.
Interception by the defense, then fumbled and recovered by the defense.
Notice comes out of there with the football, but the shot's in business.
Yeah, Del Rio Wilson just stares down who he wants to throw the ball to, and Lunan makes a great decision picking it off, and Lacey actually forces a fumble afterwards. As Del Rio Wilson was expecting Lacey to cut inside on the short post in that option route. Lunan, and notice, able to force the takeaway and then recover the fumble after that. His second takeaway by this Coastal Carolina defense.
This drive will start at the 22. They'll throw off the end around. It is dropped by Bryson Graves, threw it and dropped by Collier, who had it. I mean, it looked like he might be going for the touchdown.
Oh, the execution was there. Graves, the former baseball player, gets it to Collier, and Collier takes his eyes off of the ball, trying to run upfield, and he was smelling the green grass up ahead a little too early.
Or the teal turf.
That's probably a better way to say that.
Yeah.
Artificial. Smelling the artificial turf.
Dominic nicely in the game at running back. Collier gonna have to shake that one off. Just tosses it to his right. Well played by the Thundering Herd. Jalen Parker steps in there for another good play defensively.
And that's such a backbreaker because you had all the momentum. You go with the trick play off of the misdirection. And then now you only get 1 yard on second down, 3rd and 9. Marshall got to try to find a way to get the momentum back on their side. Trying to communicate
Collier takes it himself, nowhere to run. Sid Kaba making a play. Part of that three-man front. And Coastal going to bring out their field goal kicking unit. Afrukte makes his way onto the turf. Hit from 36 earlier. This will be from 42 yards out. Coastal down a man, having to run somebody out late. Plenty of time, though, on the play clock. 10 seconds remaining. And Afrukte continues his hot start. 9 out of 9 to begin this 2025 season. Gives his team a 7-point lead. Collier has stepped up to the plate here of late. He started producing some points in a big way. That's how it got started, and then he's gone to the air with a couple of touchdown passes.
He's been able to get the ball to his playmakers. Malcolm Gilly showcases the speed and then breakdown on defense, and Graves being the benefactor. That has now put this Coastal Carolina team up in the game for the first time.
A whole lot of football for Collier in his career, but tonight already 162 yards, a career high. Turner Bradshaw bringing this one out. Makes a man miss, stays on his feet out over the 30. Nice little return of 30 yards. Well, here's our Saturday SEC on ABC College Football triple header. How about 20th ranked Texas and number 9 Vandy? That's coming your way at noon. Then 5th ranked Georgia and Florida square off from Jacksonville, and then We capped the day off with number 14 Tennessee hosting 18th ranked Oklahoma in Knoxville. Of course, you can catch all those games available on the all-new ESPN app. Diego Pavia is on that list of Heisman candidates. His story is just an amazing one, and we've told it over and over again, but the fact that he is, so far, he's backed up just about everything he's ever said.
Absolutely. The Pavia party is real. They better be ready in Austin, because he's looking to extend that party train in Austin, Texas.
Antoine Roberts on that carry. Gain of 4. So Marshall is led by as many as 10 on 3 separate occasions tonight. Has watched Coastal score 17 straight, trying to answer back, and it's picked off again. Miles Woods this time off the deflection. Woods spinning around. And again, a short field coming up for the Chants.
Incredible job by the cover corner, being able to tip the ball.
Personal foul, blindside block, number 55.
That's Lionel Whitaker, no relation. Tipping it to Miles. Wood in right place at the right time. Tips and overthrows. They always end up in the defense's favor most of the time. And then you get a little additional yardage after the interception. That's the 3rd consecutive takeaway by this Coastal defense against this Marshall offense.
Oh, we get the turnover sword, the whole celebration. You get all of it right now. A little Halloween aspect to it as well. In the city of Halloween. For the 3rd time that Coastal sets up their offense inside the 40-yard line here in the 3rd quarter. Boy, Coastal, boy, they've got a little edge to them now in the 3rd quarter. Things have turned dramatically.
You see frustration setting in for that Marshall team with the turnovers and defense having to be right back on the football field.
Second down and 4. Marshall bringing the house. Collier gets it to the 30-yard line. He'll be a yard shy. Boogie Trotter finally drags him down. Boy, Marshall in the 1st quarter forced 2 turnovers, a pick 6 included. Now Coastal has answered back with 3 turnovers here in the 3rd quarter. First down for Coastal. Weish hanging on to Collier. This Marshall team has won 4 of their last 5 games. Coastal's won 3 of their last 4. This is a big one in the Sun Belt East Division standings.
Exactly what I was about to say. We talked about what this game means for both of these teams in the conference championship race.
That handoff goes to Edwards. Breaks a tackle, first down, and a whole lot more inside the 10. First and goal for the Chants. Boy, missed tackles are starting to really impact Marshall defensively after that 18-yard pickup.
Yeah, and Edwards does a great job. We saw him earlier not ending the run as positively as he wanted to. Well, the next time he touched the ball, he made sure his presence was felt. And that's a big gain to be able to put them inside of the 10-yard line in scoring range.
Dominic Nicely, who has a touchdown today in the backfield. They'll fake the little tap pass, and Collier will keep it himself. He stood up around the 8-yard line. Tyus Martin, the first one there.
Yeah, and Edwards off to the edge. Exact same run we saw him have earlier. Uses his speed to be able to outrun the defense, and then there he goes, forcing several broken tackles to be able to extend that run and set them up very closely to the goal line.
Simpkins now enters the game at running back. Closing in on 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Collier coming near side, will throw as he's hit. And that one's out of bounds and incomplete.
Signaling, just keep talking, keep talking. Collier so calm, cool, poised, and collected. What I really loved about that throw, even though it was an incomplete pass, he didn't put it in harm's way. Pressure was in his face, made the great decision. Just if nobody can catch it, nobody is able to be able to capitalize off of it, and now you live to fight another down.
3rd and goal. Collier keeps it. He's hit at the 6, stood up there and dropped. They're going to have to settle for 3 here, perhaps. Javay Gilmore leading the charge defensively. So this Coastal drive sputters inside the 10. See if they can manage 3 out of it. Farouk Tay has hit from 36 and from 42. This will be from 24. And he is now a perfect 10 out of 10. In his last game was 3 out of 3 in a monsoon, horrible conditions. 3 out of 3 here tonight in pretty mundane conditions. But 20 unanswered for Coastal.
All spurred by what this defense has been able to do. They've been given different looks to this offense, creating opportunities for them to capitalize on the ball. First interception, and then again, you see some mishaps with the throw behind the line of scrimmage, results in a fumble recovered by Coastal. And then lastly, the smothering coverage by Lionel Whitaker and Miles Woods in the right spot at the right time, creating a short field yet again for Coastal to take advantage of.
That play by Whitaker, the layout.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's off the charts good. I have a feeling they'll be highlighting that one in film session tomorrow or Saturday, whenever they decide to do it. But Marshall's a team that has been producing second best numbers in terms of points off turnovers this season in the FBS, but Coastal tonight has answered the call there. Here's Turner Bradshaw about a yard deep. Flag comes in. A couple of flags come out. This is just the second home game for Coastal in the last 47 days.
It's been a long time.
There are 2 fouls on the play, both on the return team. Holding, number 85. That penalty is declined. Holding, number 32. That penalty is accepted. It'll be 10 yards from the spot of the foul. First down.
Let's go down to Morgan.
Well, after the 3rd turnover this quarter for this Marshall offense, what did Coach Gibson tell us yesterday? The fact that his quarterback, Del Rio Wilson, his demeanor, it doesn't change. He's not emotional. He's steady and calm. Watching him on the sideline, certainly he's shaking his head, watching the film back on the iPad, but continues to just bring that calmness. And Adrian Norton, his wide receiver, saying, we feed off of him. He's the face of this offense. We love our quarterback, and there's certainly plenty of love for him down here on the sidelines.
Came in with 1 interception on the season, has 2 tonight. Keeps it himself and is pushed backwards. Arinze, the first one there.
Keeper, Del Rio Wilson. Second down.
I mean, I know he is a leader of this team, but what's happened here in the 3rd quarter, it's hard to flush that, I would think.
Yeah, it takes a blow on your team psychologically. You see a run play for Carlos Del Rio Wilson, try to build some confidence back up in him, and hopefully spark some momentum for Marshall.
And off the right side. Good running by Justin Williams-Thomas. Zeke Campbell hanging on, but that'll be enough for the first down. And remember, Marshall started this third quarter with an explosive drive.
Yeah.
They scored in like 2.5 minutes.
It was very quick. It was effortless. And it's been all downhill since then. They got to get back to that identity that they were at the beginning of the third.
Handoff goes again to Williams-Thomas. Marshall up over 270 yards of offense. Coastal's put up 336 to this point. Coastal's averaging over 7 yards a play tonight. Flag comes down the line of scrimmage as no room for Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Zeke Campbell again making a play.
Offside defense. The left defensive end. 5-yard penalty. Replay, second down. Correction. The penalty results in a first down.
So that'll move it out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. And the clock continues to move. Close to 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. This was a 20-17 game after 2 quarters of play. Quick hitter to the outside. They get it to Floyd Lacey, and Floyd lost the football, but it bounces out of bounds.
Boy, Marshall.
Forward and out of bounds. The ball will be to the spot of the fumble. Second down.
Marshall was lucky there. Watch the hat go right on the football. Boom! Pops that ball loose. Dante Thomas, the guy that was able to lay the hit where it needed to go, and Marshall's lucky that one landed out of bounds, or else we'd look at a 4th turnover consecutive.
Big hole for Williams-Thomas inside Coastal territory to the 45-yard line. A couple of nice runs on this drive from Justin Williams-Thomas. A redshirt junior out of Dallas, Georgia. Started at Tennessee, then transferred to Cal. Again, Williams-Thomas hit by Gordon. But a good gain on first down, give him 5.
He picked up a couple first downs. Marshall's able to play with a little tempo. And this is when they start humming, creating some explosives.
Del Rio Wilson lost the football. There is no whistle. Coastal has it again. Dre Pinckney came out of there with the football. My goodness, what is going on with Marshall? Del Rio Wilson pleading his case that he was down.
Fighting for that extra yardage. This opportunistic defense by Coastal is able to rip it free. It's Coastal's night on turnovers because the ball goes directly to Dre Pinckney. As we take a look at the replay, securing the ball there, but coming in on the backside at the end of this play is Lunan. You see, he gets his hand right on it, strips it out as it looks like Carlos Del Rio Wilson is still up on his feet. And Dre Pinckney, right place at the right time, finishing off with that Coastal turnover, the 4th one on consecutive drives.
After our replay officials looked at that probably a few times, they said it was a fumble, so play on. Simpkins with the carry off the left side. 4 turnovers in the third quarter. 2 fumbles, 2 interceptions, allowing Coastal to take a 10-point advantage. 15 more minutes coming up on the other side.
That's the end of the third quarter.
is a really spooky third quarter if you're Marshall. 4 turnovers by the Herd, 2 interceptions and 2 fumbles, resulting in 13 points. Matter of fact, opponents had just 16 points off turnovers all season long against Marshall this year, and 13 here tonight. Obviously, with an opportunity for more right now for this Coastal team as they lead it by 10. Looking at a 2nd and 10, we begin the 4th quarter. Collier going to throw, pressure. Has room over here on the near side, and he'll get out of bounds right at midfield. Well, here are some of those spooky numbers as Coastal outscored Marshall by 13 in the 3rd quarter. Marshall had it. I mean, you and I were just talking about the opening drive for Marshall. It looked like Coastal wasn't going to be able to stop them the rest of the night.
Yeah,
and then self-inflicted wounds here.
A completely different story after that first drive. A lot of that has to do with what Coastal were able to make some adjustment with and really find a way to create their own momentum.
Jalen Parker, who's had an outstanding night tonight from his linebacker position. There's a tackle for loss, 4 solo stops. Limping off the field. That opening drive by Marshall, they went 6 plays, 75 yards in 2 minutes and 15 seconds. Here's Collier trying to pick up that first down on 3rd and short. Gilmore the first one there, but that'll be a first down for the Shots. This is crazy for a team that was really struggling offensively in their 3 non-conference games to start this season. They averaged just 6.5 points a game, fewest by any team in the FBS. But they're averaging over 28 in their Sun Belt games, and they're coming off their highest output against App State, where they put up 45, but they may surpass that here tonight. Here's Collier. Picks up a couple extra yards inside the 40 to the 38.
The reason why they've been able to average as much as they have is because of what Samari Collier has been able to do. Shifty feet, physical running, and then being able to finish the run with that kind of physical type of presence. That's what he's brought for the Chanticleers.
First down and 10. Flag comes out. A couple of flags come out. Cannon Lewis in on that tackle.
Personal foul, chop block, offense, number 73 and 58. 15-yard penalty, replay, first down.
A couple of our officials spotted the chop block.
That's a huge blow to the momentum that Coastal was creating on this drive. 15-yard penalty. That makes it really difficult to try to gain that back.
Toss sweep comes to Nicely. Al-Amin brings him down, a gain of 11. Nicely will stay in the game. Nicely with a touchdown tonight. True freshman out of Vienna, Virginia. He's been involved in both these true freshmen. Javon Edwards and Dominic Nicely have carried the ball quite a bit in their first season in college football. Going up top, and Collier overthrows Eli Aragon.
He had him too, Dave. That's one throw he wishes he could have back. It's a great play call, expecting zone coverage. And you get your receiver to be able to wheel it up on cover 3. Safety playing the post over top. You've got to be able to hit on that. Brings up 3rd and 14.
Just throws it in to this surf turf. Push it and shove it over there on that near sidelines.
Marshall snuffed out that wide receiver screen from the jump. Really did a great job of really ending it before it even started and forcing this 4th down attempt. We'll see what Coach Beck wants to do if he wants to attempt the long field goal. But we know the strength of Lorcan Quinn may be on display. I'm sorry, Afrute.
This Coastal team rallied from 14 down to beat App State last week. They were down 10 3 times.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
That 14-point rally against the Mountaineers, second biggest comeback for the Shots since they joined the FBS back in 2016. So Floyd Lacey will stand back at the 10-yard line. Sibafunde back to punt for the Shots. Well, he hammers this one. It'll hit inside the 5, and it'll trickle in to the end zone. So Marshall will get the football. They're down 10 here in the 4th quarter. Back after this. Been a wild and crazy night here in Conway, South Carolina. Coastal Carolina has scored 20 unanswered to take a 10-point lead. They forced 4 turnovers in the 3rd quarter. 4th FBS team with at least 4 turnovers in a quarter this season, joining Kentucky, Washington State, and unfortunately for you and I, we saw the Arkansas 4 turnovers to end the game last week in Fayetteville against Auburn. Maybe it's us.
We're the common denominator.
Here's Roberts. Big run to start this fourth quarter, this drive. He'll get it out to the 44-yard line and picks up 24 yards. He is having literally a career day running with the football. His first career 100-yard game. And he's up over 130 yards now. Give it to him again.
And they go into Roberts.
Boy, Marshall's really running the ball well tonight. 234 yards on the ground. Pass is caught there. Out to midfield, and that'll make it a third down and about 4. Good to see Shane Bruce back on the field. He tried to play in their last game, but Coach Tim Beck was like, not so fast. You're not healthy enough. And he was out in full, did warm-ups 10 days ago and didn't go, did the same thing here tonight. So we weren't sure if we were going to see him, but they couldn't keep him off the field tonight. Boy, Roberts is wrapped up on third down. He loses 4 on the play, maybe 5. And here comes the Marshall punt team.
Again, another great play call by Jeremiah Johnson, the defensive coordinator. He shows blitz, but their bluff have everybody drop back, and they were ready for that running back screen there and force another 4th down punt attempt.
Here is Nathan Totten to punt it away. Boy, this is a good booming kick. Fair catch called for inside the 10-yard line. 10-point game, 10:28 to play in the 4th.
College football playoff top 25.
We got brackets to talk about. A lot of movement. Wide open.
The top 25 rankings reveal and 12-team CFP projection. Tuesday on ESPN.
Yeah, almost time for the first college football playoff rankings release. Just a few more days to figure all that out. But before we get to that, here's Fozzie's All-State playoff predictor. His prediction. Break this down for me.
Yeah, well, number one, because we are who we are, this is going to be 100% correct.
Right, sure it is.
All the way to the end. I got Ohio State winning the Big Ten. I got Alabama winning the SEC. And then the losers of those two games will be the other top seeds.
Okay. Do you remember who your first couple teams out were?
Yeah, James Madison and Vanderbilt.
James Madison looks really good. If you had a chance to watch them on Tuesday night, they put on a clinic.
They're playing very well.
Jalen John in the game at running back. The UMass transfer had over 500 yards with the Minutemen last year. Low snap. Here's John. He spins into some traffic. Again, I mean, there are, as we got ready for this game, we spend most of our time in the SEC, and there are transfers there, plenty of them, but nothing like this game. 131 combined transfers between these two teams. That is nuts.
Yeah, it's crazy, and to see the way that they've been able to put chemistry together and have a culture, it's been really impressive to see on both sides of the ball with so many new faces in the rotation of players that come in from year to year.
Third down. Collier going to throw for it, and it is dropped right through the hands of Cameron Wright. It'll be fourth down. To finish that thought about these transfers, Marshall, though, felt it bigger than anybody last year when Charles Huff finished the season and decided to go down to Southern Miss. 50 Marshall players entered the portal. 21 of those landed in Hattiesburg.
Yeah.
I mean, look at all the entrants into the portal this past season. 3,500. 3,500.
That's crazy.
Floyd Lacey calls a fair catch. And did that hit a Marshall player? A fair catch was called for by Floyd Lacey. They're going to say it's Coastal football.
The ruling on the field is the punt was touched by the receiving team and then recovered by the kicking team. It'll be 1st and 10.
Javaris Bufford came up with the football.
And Lacey's trying to get to the ball, and
his own man ran into him. But was he blocked into him?
I don't believe he was blocked into him.
I guess he's got to get out of the way. Just an unfortunate situation. I mean, it's just been crazy for what's happened to Marshall here in the second half.
Yeah, you talk about some spooky events that have occurred on All Hallows Eve. That's been the case for Marshall in this second half, with now that being their 5th turnover, 4 of them offensively, and now 1 added in the special teams category.
Boy, his teammate just backing up, trying to block, bumped into his shoulder, and he couldn't get to the football. And I mean, that's just clear. That's just an unfortunate situation. I mean, it's a tough break if you're Marshall, and now you give up the football again.
In plus territory.
Nowhere to go for Collier. Alameen. Well, I don't know how you overcome this.
Yeah, with 9 minutes left in the game, I expect your defense confidence is a little shuttered too. They just got a 3 and out and having to go back onto the football field, but you expect Coach Gibson to be aggressive here. You got to force a takeaway to try to get as many possessions as you can, get your offense back on the football field.
2nd and 11. Collier going to throw. Down the middle, has a man caught. Eli Aragon. He is out of bounds.
Flag on the play.
At the 1, but there is a flag back at the 33-yard line.
Holding defense, number 4. That penalty's declined. The play results in the first down.
Take a look at the blocking and then downfield, given the opportunity on the double move. Eric on with the stop and go. Spinaroonie added onto it, and Green McKnight playing catch up that entire time. And Coastal's right back in scoring position, first and goal.
A 40-yard pickup as he takes it down to the 1-yard line. Collier, 202 passing yards on 7 completions. First and goal, Collier working the right side. Touchdown, Coastal.
Second half has been a different ball game for this Coastal football team. They're playing complementary football on all 3 phases now. And Collier being able to put that stamp on that drive as the points off of takeaways keeps adding up.
It is now 44-27. This score at halftime, Marshall led it 20-17.
And it's all started with miscommunication on the back end by Lacey trying to call a fair catch. His player touches it, results in a turnover, and you get Collier down in the red zone, especially down by the goal line. That's where he's most dangerous. And then Coastal has put a gap in this game.
That is 27 unanswered points for the Chanticleers. First 7 games, 6 turnovers for Marshall, 5 tonight.
I always say turnovers come in bunches, or they come in droves. 5 of them, I think, is a pretty good number.
.808 left to play. Both these teams 4-3 overall. Both with just 1 loss in Sun Belt play. Hey, well, the next UFC Fight Night is Saturday exclusively on ESPN+. The prelims begin at 4 Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific from the Apex in Las Vegas, followed by the main card at 7 and highlighted by the featherweight main event you can watch on the all-new ESPN app. Coming your way Saturday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. Just no time at all for Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Noah Arinze putting the pressure on the senior quarterback.
And Arinze's been all over the place this entire game, making his presence felt in the run game as well as in the passing game. Going to need more of it to close out this game for Coastal.
3-man rush. Del Rio Wilson fires and dropped by Floyd Lacey. Arinze chasing down Carlos Del Rio Wilson again. And now it's 3rd down and 10.
Chanticleer fans, put those shots up.
Start looking at it under 8 minutes. Down by 3 scores. You expect Marshall, they got to try to get a quick score here. 3rd and 10. It's not the opportune distance, but picking up this first down is critical in this game.
Del Rio Wilson trying to take it himself. He's out over the 30, but shy of the 35, which is where he needed to go. Boy, 7:42 and counting on the clock, and Tony Gibson looks like he's going to bring his punt team back on the field. Well, you're just not going to get many possessions.
Yeah, it's heavy fake area. If Coach Gibson has a fake in his arsenal and they've prepared for it, this might be the opportunity that they call it to try to get that possession and score that they need.
Rice and Graves back at the 20-yard line to return. Low line drive punt that will hit at the 30 and takes a big bounce. Scooped up there by Graves and really nowhere to go. He'll be dropped inside the 10. But a 17-point advantage for Coastal Carolina. Under 7 to play here in Conway. Well, the Coastal Carolina Chanticleers are clearly dominating. You see their points, 44 most against Marshall in the short history of these two teams facing each other, and it's the second most they've scored this season. They put up 45 against Appalachian State 2 Saturdays ago, 45-37. They win that one, and now they're backed up, though. They're going to try to chew up this clock. Up 17. We'll hand it off to Jalen John. Hannon Lewis making a tackle for the Thundering Herd. Both these teams came in tied basically for second place in the Sun Belt East Division. Jason James Madison. Southern Miss and James Madison, the only two undefeated teams in the league. Southern Miss at 4-0 in conference play over in the West Division. Charles Huff did a marvelous job with Marshall last year. I know maybe it didn't end the way that people wanted it to end, perhaps, but won him a Sun Belt championship on the way out. He goes to Southern Miss. They won one game last year. Now they're in the hunt to play for a Sun Belt championship this year.
It's been crazy. The transfer portal, not only for players, but for coaches, too, within the Sun Belt Conference. It's made a big difference.
Well, he did take quite a bit of the Marshall guys that played on that Sun Belt championship team with him down to Hattiesburg.
Expect quarterback draw here. Put the ball in Collier's hands. It's been great on third down.
Here comes some pressure. Collier hit as he throws. Lofted in the air. Bounces off a player and falls to the surf turf. Incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Cam Smith back there. That ball just kind of hung up in the air. Collier's thinking that took forever to get to the ground.
I'm actually surprised they threw the ball. I mean, considering you did runs the first couple of times. Collier's been great on third down with the quarterback draw.
Pressure comes, punt gets away. Lacey looked like he stumbled. Got his cleat caught in that turf, but hung on to the football, and that's where Marshall will have it. Well, here's a look at that Sun Belt leaderboard as we were talking about. Southern Miss, I forgot about Troy, by the way. What a job that's going on down in Troy, Alabama right now. Not the prettiest seasons last year, but they have got it going in the right direction. James Madison 5-0. There is Coastal and Marshall, both of them with one loss. Somebody's going to walk out of here right now. Marshall looks like they're going to be the team to go 2-2 in the league.
They better find something quick, fast, in a hurry.
The other surprise there is seeing Texas State at 0-4. Bobcats have been really impressive the last few years under G.J. Kinney.
Former teammate.
They're heading off Texas State, heading off to the Pac-12 next year.
Yeah.
Del Rio Wilson just runs out of bounds to stop the clock. 4:38. Coastal defense, 5 forced turnovers here in the second half. Only North Texas has done something like that this year. They did that against Washington State.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 4, Marshall. That's a 15-yard penalty. That's number 4's first unsportsmanlike conduct foul.
Tony Gibson having a little chat with Lacey, the senior out of Birmingham. Started at North Alabama, then Jacksonville State before going to Marshall. Boy, this has been a frustrating second half. I mean, I don't even think that's the right word to use. I don't even know how you would describe this. Pass caught shy of the 50 by Turner Bradshaw.
That has been weak for Turner Bradshaw.
You got to expect here soon. They got to take some shots downfield to be able to get the ball into the end zone. You're starting to run out of clock with 4 minutes left in this game. I understand it's third down, but you need to get some chunk yardage to put yourself in scoring position.
Again, Carlos Del Rio Wilson flushed out of that pocket. It'll be 4th down as he got out of bounds about a yard shy of the line to gain. This clock continues to tick down, 3.5 minutes. This time, Carlos Del Rio Wilson will be dropped by Zeke Campbell, his 5th sack of the year.
with a little thriller dance to go on top of that on the celebration. Zeke Campbell, ball get off, BGO. He beats the left tackle out of his stance before the left tackle could even drop back. And that's all it took for him to be able to get to Carlos Del Rio Wilson. Because this is Thriller. Best impersonation of Michael Jackson.
Hey, that was pretty good. Well, the streak of 3 straight games with 200 or more passing yards, 75 or more rushing yards will come to an end tonight for Carlos Del Rio Wilson, as Edwards gets the handoff there.
Timeout, Marshall.
Marshall will take a timeout.
First of the half.
Don't forget, big day of SEC football over on ABC on Saturday. It all gets started. 9th-ranked Vanderbilt and number 20 Texas. Number 5 Georgia and Florida. They'll square off in Jacksonville. And of course, we'll cap the day with a really good one as Tennessee and Oklahoma. From Neyland Stadium on the banks of the Tennessee River, the Vol Navy will be out in full force. That one's 7:30 Eastern time. It has been an unbelievable year in the SEC. The amount of close one-possession games has been, I mean, it seems like every Saturday, if there's 6 games, 5 of them are coming down to the wire.
I can't remember what the exact stat was, but this is by far the most one-possession games that the SEC has seen at this point in time in the season.
Well, no one-possession game here as Coastal has just put a hurting on Marshall here in the second half. Little tap pass. Goes to Robbie Washington, and he's going to be slow to get up. Cam Smith with a nice play defensively.
Timeout, Marshall. This is their second timeout.
Tough night for Tony Gibson and company. Especially the way this game got started with a pick 6, got some momentum. Led at halftime, led by 10, 3 different times in this game. But Tony Gibson in his first year, he's been in the coaching business for 30 years. Long time. Defensive coordinator. That's Coastal Carolina trying to get to that championship game. Now, they'll finish the season with James Madison. So if they can continue to run the table here in the Sun Belt, and James Madison does the same thing, the championship berth will come down to November 29th.
Yeah, and that'll be a game to watch, as a lot will be on the line at the end of the year for that final week of regular season football play.
And Beck, now in his 3rd season, back-to-back bowl games. Matter of fact, the Chants have gone to 5 straight bowl games as a program. Boy, a lot of pushing and shoving going on after these plays.
It's their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be 30 seconds in the lead.
Frustration setting in. I do want to add one thing about this Chanticleer offense, the game plan that Coach Hollingshead had, using quads, right? 3 receivers out to the right, and then they had a tight end also on the same side, and then running plays opposite of that. I thought was beautiful utilization of what Marshall's defense wants to do, and using it against them was phenomenal execution. So they put up 44 points against that defense.
Hollingshead came from Western Kentucky in his first year running this offense at Coastal. Again, a Mike Leach disciple. Said it's been hard sometimes. They haven't been able to get like that first down and really get the momentum going. You know, these offenses that like to go tempo, spread you out, they get that first down, man. It is foot on the gas.
Game on.
Fair catch taken Back at the 20-yard line. So 2:51 to play. Del Rio Wilson, 17 of 27, just 113 yards through the air. He has rushed it 17 times for just 40 yards. Five straight games over 40 points. They even put up 51 in a loss to Louisiana, 54-41. 51 was the final score in that game. Out of bound goes Payne on the far side. They've already played two overtime games, two overtime periods against Louisiana and against Texas State. They beat the Bobcats 40-37 in their last game. There's the tight end, Payne.
Right down, run that clock down. Completion again to Payne. Second down.
Boy, Del Rio Wilson hit as he let that football go. Incomplete.
I think that kind of sums up the type of night Del Rio Wilson has had after some of the hot start earlier in this game and earlier in the second half. Everything's kind of flipped upside down for this offense.
That'll be good enough for the first down as Justin Williams-Thomas takes it out to midfield. And that'll get us to the 2-minute timeout. 1:59 to play. Coastal just try to close this one out.
Game clock operator, please set the game clock for 2 minutes. 2:00.
in the city of Halloween, like they like to call Conway, South Carolina. They are celebrating Halloween maybe a day early after what has been an explosive second half, mainly behind 5 turnovers created by this Coastal team. Lead at 44-27. Two-minute timeout. It has been a tough night for that man, Carlos Del Rio Wilson. And look, Marshall's got to shake this one off. Absolutely. They get James Madison next week. That one is, again, through the hands of a Marshall receiver. That time, Turner Bradshaw couldn't hang on to it.
Assuming we'll see a shot downfield at some point in time. You got to test them on the outside, see where they stand, and see if you can get you a quick touchdown.
Del Rio Wilson trying to get out of bounds. He will do so. Lunan will chase him out of bounds. 1:47 on the clock.
Quarterback keeper.
It'll be third down and about 4. Coastal gets Georgia State next week. Here at Brooks Stadium on the surf turf. What pressure comes. Pass a little bit behind the intended target. Now it's 4th down.
Saw Toby Payne early on this drive catch a couple passes. 4th down, maybe that's the person that Carlos tries to hit on this play.
Boy, illegal motion. Looked like 2 guys were in motion at the same time.
False start, offense. Not all 11 players were set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty, still 4th down.
So that'll make it 4th down and 9.
Please reset the game clock to 1:44. 1:44. Thank you.
Rio Wilson trying to run for it, makes a nice cutback, and oh, a big collision at the 35-yard line. He will have the 1st down. Jones ran right into the big quarterback. Del Rio Wilson pops up. Says he loves contact. He just got it right there. 3-man rush again. That pass is caught down around the 20-yard line. So another 1st down for the Herd. Marshall's now up over 400 yards of offense. Coastal's put up 411 tonight. Slant, and that one is incomplete. Looking for Turner Bradshaw again.
Tight window, contested beautifully by the defense. Could have been caught.
Timeout, officials, timeout.
Got an injured Chanticleer on the back end. Tony Gibson going to have to play some mind games with his guys to get them to flush this one. See what's coming up with James Madison and Georgia State, App State, and they finish up with Georgia Southern.
That James Madison game is going to be a critical one that they try to bounce back and kind of reset who they are and get back to the fundamentals. Coming off kind of that long stretch, a little mini bye week per se, considering they didn't have a game this past Saturday. Shaking off the cobwebs may be what they need in order to get back into the rhythm that they saw themselves before this game.
Well, Tony Gibson and Tim Beck have faced each other a lot at NC State when they were respective coordinators.
Yep.
For those 3 seasons in Raleigh, and the first time they get to face each other as opposing head coaches. 2 ultra competitive men. I'll go to the tight end, Toby Payne. We had a picture coming on the air tonight, the 2 of those guys back at NC State. The growl, the scowls on their faces, kind of indicative of who they are as competitors, but certainly they enjoy each other, respect each other tremendously. To the end zone, and that one is caught. Oh, what a catch. Adrian Norton. My goodness, how did he maintain possession? A 17-yard touchdown catch.
I think they called it incomplete. Oh, wow.
That is incomplete. That is crazy. I thought for sure he caught this one.
Look closely.
Oh, there it is.
Okay.
It fell right in his gut, and it looked like he caught it. And then he lobbied for it, though. That was good. I was buying it. He sold me. Del Rio Wilson. First and goal. He'll spike it with 27 seconds left.
Prior to the snap, replay stopped the game. The previous ruling on the field was a first down. Previous plays under further review.
Well, we'll try to spin back and see if that was a first down.
Paulo Del Rio Wilson, 219 pounds, 6'2", trying to turn those legs. I mean, we've already talked about his determination as a runner. He gets hit well short of the first down and drives those legs. His knee is very close to touching the ground before the line of game.
After further review, the runner was short of the line to gain. The ball will go over on downs to Coastal Carolina. First down.
Well, there you go. And that'll do it for Coastal Carolina. Boy, what a turn of events. Trailed by as many as 10 on 3 separate occasions in the first half.
Game clock operator, please reset the game clock to 33 seconds. 33 seconds.
But the Chants responded. They closed this game out on a 27-0 run after Marshall led it 27-17 with 12:46 to go in the third quarter. Of course, aided by 5 Thundering Herd turnovers, including 4 in a row on 4 consecutive possessions.
They got the turnovers, but Samari Collier is the reason why Coastal was able to punch it in and put those points on the board.
8 completions and 196 yards for Collier. 411 yards of offense for Coastal, 432 for Marshall, but on the big board, the one that counts, it's all Coastal Carolina. 44-27 as this clock winds down. Two good friends meet at midfield. So Marshall will go to 4-4. Coastal goes to 5-3. Let's go down to Morgan.
Your defense, 4 straight turnovers on 4 straight possessions. How are they able to be so disruptive tonight?
Wow, I know. I was so proud. We talked about at halftime that early in the game we were down 2-0 in the turnover battle, and we had to make some plays, and our defense did. All credit to those guys. They did a great job.
You've talked about your quarterback, Samari Collier, the way that he's a gamer. Where did you see that most in his game tonight?
I mean, just all day, right? He never panicked. You know, he didn't start the game the way we wanted to, but eventually we came back and just played really well. I'm really proud of our guys.
Everything's still out in front of you for this team. What will you take from this game as you look to build on it?
Well, I mean, winning's hard. This is a very good football team. I got a lot of respect for Coach Gibson and Marshall and what they did. It was a really hard-fought game by 2 good football teams. We're going to enjoy it tonight, and we got to move on to the next one.
Thank you, Coach. Congrats.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
And the next one is Georgia State. Your thoughts on where Coastal's going from here?
Yeah, well, if they play like they did today, complimentary football, that'll get you places in the Sun Belt and an opportunity to play for championships.
Well, they win it 44-27. They go on a fantastic run to close this one out. So for Morgan Uber, Fozzie Whitaker, and the rest of our exceptional ESPN crew, I'm Dave Neal saying thanks for joining us. Saying so long from Conway, South Carolina, where the shot declares win it big over the Thundering Herd.